Well, today for Mousetrap Monday, I have a pretty crazy pest control story. Well, actually it's an animal rescue story, and it has to do with this giant rabbit. You see, we have quite a few rabbits that are wild cottontail rabbits out here. Well, recently a friend of mine said they looked out their window and they noticed a very large rabbit. They sent some photos and I knew those weren't wild rabbits, those were pets. So someone had abandoned them, they had dropped them off in their yard. There was 2 of them, so I came over and this one was huge. There's also another rabbit. And it was pretty clear from the behavior that the other one was a male and this one was a female. When I walked up to them, this one didn't try to run away. It let me pick them up. It is so tame and nice. The other one, the male, ran away. I could get about 10 feet before he bolted. So I'm still trying to catch that one, and hopefully in the next video we catch the male. But I caught this one, I picked it right up, and I knew that it was very, very heavy. It's a huge rabbit, and I don't know much about rabbits, but my daughter wanted some pet rabbits. So I'm gonna keep this as a pet. I didn't really have a rabbit cage, but I did have a wooden brooder that I made for raising chicks and ducklings, and so I put some hay down in that. We went to the pet store and got alfalfa pellets for rabbits and one of those automatic waters, and the rabbit seemed to do very well, but about an hour later, it started acting really funny and it pulled out all the fur on its belly. I only caught it for an hour before it started making a weird nest, and then I checked on it a few hours later and it had babies. So I rescued this rabbit just a few hours before it had babies, and I don't know much about keeping rabbits, so I'm gonna ask for some help. So if you're experienced about keeping rabbits, I have a few questions. I need help from the YouTube viewers, and you guys are such a great wealth of knowledge. So first of all, what breed of rabbit this is? I'm assuming it's probably for meat or maybe show because it's so big. It's a gigantic rabbit. It's this brown color with dark ears, and this one's so friendly. Second of all, hopefully I have the diet right. We're feeding them pellets that are alfalfa specific rabbit pellets, but also it really seems to love to forage on fresh greens. I have a variation of dandelions and strawberry leaves, grass, and pea shoots, and it seems to eat all of them. So how much should I be feeding wild greens and how much of the pellets? Also, it seems to act pretty funny around the babies. And by that, I mean, I don't know if this is normal, but it made a nest and it hides the babies. I never ever see it by the babies. It's always on the other side of the pen. So it doesn't go anywhere near its babies. I'm assuming it's feeding the babies because the babies are still alive after 4 days, and I don't really want to touch them or disturb them. I don't even know how many babies it had, but they seem to be doing well. I pulled back some of the fur just to look in real quickly, and they seem to be pretty fat and they're moving around pretty lively. So I'm assuming a rabbit does take care of their babies, but they don't hang out in the nest all the time like a chicken. So that's pretty odd to me. And also, when can I start touching the babies and getting in there? Like I said, they're only a few days old, so should I wait a week, 2 weeks? I don't know anything about rabbits, so help me out. And the last thing I have a question about is, as I'm holding this just now, I noticed that there are a few fleas crawling around. So maybe it picked them up when it was outside, dropped in the wild. But how do you treat fleas on a rabbit? I've heard maybe diatomaceous earth, but just what's the process? So please leave comments down below. First of all, I'm really curious what breed of rabbit this is. How soon till I can touch the babies and check them out? I want to leave them alone and not disturb them until they're old enough. What's the proper diet? Is there anything I need to change? I have fresh greens and pellets, and also how to treat fleas and maybe anything else I'm not thinking of. So hopefully the YouTube viewers leave comments and really help me out. And hopefully in the next video we can catch the father. It's still running around in the yard. It's a lot more wild, so we'll set up some traps and hopefully we have a pair of pet rabbits. And soon I'm also going to show you all the babies. Man, rabbits do breed very quickly, and it's really crazy that this was dumped off and abandoned. That's so horrible. It would probably die pretty quickly. Around here we have bobcats, coyotes, and most of all we have owls and hawks that just love to hit the rabbits. And it's not safe to leave rabbits out in the wild. With wild rabbits, they transfer disease. There's a disease called hemorrhagic disease that's really dangerous for rabbits, so don't be mixing tame rabbits with wild rabbits. And I really want to read your comments, so I'm going to try to read every single one. Thanks for the help, and hopefully soon you get to see baby rabbits and we'll catch the dad. Thanks for watching.